Adventure! But you make it look so good.
All right, here in the van. I'm actually in Colorado right now, making myself at home in Kyle's backyard. But just in July, like 2 months ago, the dudes and I went on a trip to the Yooper, Marquette, Michigan. My buddy Joe, who I usually park in his driveway in Indianapolis, he goes to Marquette every year with his family. This time, I decided to tag along. And so I took off on a Monday and I came back on a Friday, and we crammed so much stuff into those 5 days, non-stop activities. I am on my way to Marquette, Michigan. And it was pretty easy. I did run into some issues with the toll roads because they closed them down, and then they were using the automated machines, which weren't working. Blah, blah.
I get it. Yeah, I'm like, that just does not sound like a fun lunch. And I'm not laughing at those people.
Just passing Milwaukee now. Hey, we've made it 4 hours. Had to stop for gas. I got about 3 left, but I am gonna eat now. My mom made me egg salad sandwich for the road. Thanks, Mom.
Egg salad's a pretty sloppy sandwich.
So we've made it to the Upper Peninsula area, but it's no longer like city looking. It's all like coastal cottage homes. Once you get to the Upper Peninsula, it's kind of scenic. You drive along Lake Michigan, and so you're on the waterfront for a while, and it's nice. I mean, Archer didn't care. He just slept the whole time. Oh, stretch it. So I'm about 40 minutes out. I have no more service. Rocky has knocked the entire couch over. We were staying in Gwin. We weren't staying in Marquette. And Gwin is a tiny little town, and the cabin that we were staying at was like way off the beaten path. So you lose service, and then you're on all these dirt roads. Well, we're almost there. I eventually got there. Hey, it's so much colder.
What's the dog saying?
Rocky.
Rocky.
Rock! Do you have internet? Rocky jumped out, got a lay of the land. Archer was a little more hesitant. He wanted to stay in the van, but immediately Joe's like, "Okay, let's go trail riding." So made it to Gwin, and oh yeah, Turner was there. Joe and I are about to go do some trail riding. Joe had brought like a moped out. He brought his Onyx electric bike, which I've showed a little bit in a previous video. And his cousin had left his Honda 650R. Joe was just like, "I'll take my Onyx bike on the trails and you could take the 650. And that thing was a pain in the ass to start. Whole video's this. The thing about a 650 is it's way too big of a bike for me. And I know there's gonna be somebody on here who's gonna be like, "My 8-year-old daughter rides her 650R like no problem."
This isn't it, but this is one of the trails, so just go right.
This is it? But for me, with the trails we hit, they were super narrow, like bike trails. A 650 is like riding a bucking bronco. I'm like 5'8", 160 pounds, and that's a big bike.
Too much power for such a small trail.
But it's kind of funny when I think about it, because I'm on this big 650R, and then Joe, who's probably double my weight, is on this little electric bike. And so I'm on this really throaty 650 going through these tight trails. And then here comes Joe. So it's like, you know, when you're riding, usually you can hear the other rider if they're coming up close, but Joe's on the electric bike. So we ripped around for a bit and it was fun. And I only dropped the bike once.
And there we go. And this bike weighs like 400 pounds. Whew. Woo! That hurt my balls. Asshole. All right, so we just, I don't know, rode for probably half hour, 45 minutes. It's pretty cool here. They got big side-by-side trails like we're on right here where you could take, even like a truck could probably go off on road on this. And then they've got like super narrow paths. So it's really fun. And I think we're gonna head back now and do some fishing. Oh, look who he is. You been exploring? So Joe's dad's a big fisherman and he has all sorts of stuff and I have my own gear. So we had everything we needed, but he didn't quite trust us to troll around on the John boat. So we ended up having to take the paddle boat. Now, a paddle boat's not the best thing to fish from. And then on top of it, I was like, oh, you know, it'd be funny if we brought Rocky along. There you go.
This is funny. It's gonna be super front heavy.
Me and Turner both crammed in there with Rocky with like 5 poles, and then Turner even brought his laptop because he was hoping he'd get more service if he was out on the water. And it was seriously like a minute and a half before Rocky had a hook in his head.
Oh, stop. Oh my God.
And then immediately after that, Turner got a hook. And then while Turner was hooked, I got hooked.
Dude, we caught ourselves.
This was a bad idea.
We're all hooked around here.
And I was just like, this is not gonna work. But Joe really wanted to get this cool Pure Michigan drone shot of us on this paddle boat. So here's that. A paddle boat's never been so fun in Pure Michigan. But we got that shot and I was like, okay, we gotta take Rocky back or else he's gonna end up with like 6 hooks in his head. So we went back and he swam, kind of guided us back, honestly. And then he was pretty bummed that he wasn't gonna be able to come out with us the second time. Who wasn't good in the kayak? Or the paddle boat? So we went back out and it was a lot less stressful. We actually got to fish for about an hour and a half or 2. And but Turner managed to like snag a little bass there at the end before we headed back in. Little bass there. Look at it. It's like a pounder.
Kiss it.
Yeah. That is just. So I'd only really been there for like 5 hours and I felt like I'd been there like 2 days with what we had crammed in within those 5 hours. So I was already pretty tired and we called it a night because Joe was like, tomorrow we're gonna do even more. I better see if I can get Archer in. Archer! Come on. There he is. Oh, you are not. You're not gonna get another treat for that. You just went out for 2 seconds. So the next day, I woke up kind of early, thinking like, okay, maybe if I get an earlier start today, I can fit some things in, or at least take my time a little bit. So when I woke up, I went out to the dock and threw a couple casts. Sure enough, like when I'm not trying to fish, I caught one.
Yeah, that's pretty good looking. Boom, it works.
Right after I caught it, Joe's like, all right, we gotta go. We're wasting too much time with this fishing. That's not what we're doing today. We gotta go.
We're driving to Marquette. Marquette's like the largest city in the UP. The Uper.
Is it?
Yeah.
So the first thing he wanted to do that day was take the moped and his Onyx bike out and ride around Marquette and go get pasties. But first, Rocky had to go check out the water and visit with some people there at the shore.
I gotta wear a helmet.
All right, let's do it. sardine case pasties. It's a Michigan staple.
But a pasty is like a turnover. It's really like a handheld pot pie. It's a pocket. It's just like a meat and vegetable pocket that you could put gravy on and ketchup on. You know, they make vegetarian ones and meat ones. It's a staple in the Yooper. Yeah, we got our pasties, and then we rode the mopeds over to Presque Isle Park to eat our pasties in front of the waterfront. Ooh, scenic.
I don't get it! No, it's my dad's scooter, not yours.
And it was actually pretty nice there. And when I was going to get my drink out of the moped basket, I heard my name.
Are you Ben?
I was like, what? Who knows me out here?
The DogCatManVan guy? Yeah. Oh my gosh.
It's been happening more and more often now that people are recognizing me from the YouTube channel. Even though I have like a small following, people are coming up and saying, hey. And so I met Kelsey.
Hi, I'm Kelsey. So, okay, I was pulling out and I was like, wait a minute. I was like, I think I recognize those scooters.
Oh my
And then I saw you had a camera. I'm like, it's gotta be him. So
I wish I had the fence here. And it sounded like she came across us through the Krusty Crusaders videos because she has a Honda Passport. She was actually from the Detroit area and was in the Marquette area traveling around for a week or so at a time in her vehicle.
I'm glad I met you, you know, and I love all the videos. I think they're awesome. I'm camping in my car right now, so you've inspired me to, for a week, you know, not long term, but
That's a good amount.
Exactly. Yeah, awesome, cool. Well, enjoy the rest of your day. It was great to meet you.
What was your name, by the way?
Kelsey.
Kelsey, I'm Joe. Nice to meet you.
Yeah,
This is
nice
Turner.
to meet you.
It was nice. It was nice to meet somebody who's a fan of the channel. So Kelsey, if you're watching this, thanks for coming up and saying hey. So we ended up sitting down for like a half hour and eating our pasties, and Joe was like, okay, let's go check out Black Rocks. Black Rocks is another very touristy area in Marquette. And right when we pulled up, I was like, I'm not gonna like this. I don't like being in super crowded areas or touristy areas.
So what do you think?
There's a lot of people here. You're just getting all wind. There's no way you hear me. And he's like, there's this cool little rock face you can jump off of. So we went and checked it out, and it was like everyone and their grandmother was jumping off of this little rock. And I was just like, I don't want to do this. It's cool we came and saw it, but let's go find another spot where we could go jump in some water.
Do it like the kids do it.
Yeah. And so he was like, all right, I got this other spot where there's a waterfall we can jump off near. And so we went back to the vehicles, and we ended up getting the van and the truck, and Joe still wanted to ride his Onyx, and we took off to Dead River Falls.
Ben, Turner, and I are going to a waterfall now to do some hiking.
Now, all of these spots we're going to were pretty close to each other. The area isn't too big, and so it didn't take us very long to get there.
Do you guys know that this is where you start the hike to go up to see the Dead River Falls? Yeah. Okay, thanks.
And again, we arrive, and it's another big touristy area. The parking lot's full, and because the parking lot's full, Joe was like, I'm not parking my Onyx here. People are gonna steal it. So he's just decided to ride it up to the falls.
Tell us what you're doing. Gonna bike up Dead River Falls. Definitely not allowed to do this, but see what happens. That's me just falling backwards. Yeah.
I mean, he didn't ride it all the way to the falls. He just rode it up to the trailhead, and then he took off and hid it in a super secret location where no one would ever find it. While Turner and I continued down the trail.
Would you look at that? This is kind of a little precarious little root system here, huh?
Whoa, what are you doing?
This way.
Go that way. You got it. Come here.
Hey, rock.
Rock, come on, I'm gonna get in trouble.
And it turned out to be pretty cool. It was actually a decent hike. I mean, it wasn't strenuous by any means.
Are these root systems or stairs? God.
Yeah, you're pretty much along the river the whole way up, and there's all these little falls along the way. And the further we went, the less people were there.
That's not where you jumped off.
No.
And after a while, it was just us out there hiking along this trail. And we came out at this pretty big waterfall. And the whole time, Joe's telling us, dude, there's this 60-foot jump.
60 feet. Falls. 60 feet.
And I'm like, there's no way there's a 60-foot jump here. And when we got there, there was actually a pretty big jump.
That? I guess that is 60 feet.
I don't think, it wasn't 60 feet, but it was decently high. And, you know, in my mind, I'm like, I've done some pretty decent jumps. I can do that. And so I climbed up and I checked it out, and it got my nerves going.
So, you probably can't tell with this GoPro, but I just hiked up. I was gonna jump Rocky State off that. I'm easily 50 feet up. It is super intimidating. My heart is pounding, and I feel like I need shoes to jump that, but I guess it's broken water. That's high.
First off, I was like, okay, is the water deep enough here for me to jump off of this?
Why is it so loud?
Because there's a waterfall.
What?
And then up there is a spot to jump off of, even though it's really high. That's like what? What is that one there? Probably 20 feet? That's probably 50, 50-foot jump.
You gotta
this
clear,
water.
You gotta clear 15 feet.
How far are you gonna clearing? That's the problem.
Yeah, it would suck if I crippled myself.
It would suck, but it would be kind of fun. Just a second.
And so I was like, Joe, go in and check the depth.
Oh my God. It's like ice. That's the coldest thing I've ever felt.
All right, go see.
Warm it up, warm it up.
And so he went in and he did a little like pencil and went down, and he couldn't touch the ground. There's no way he was getting even close. And so he went and jumped off this little ledge.
Just don't go head first. See, that's the way.
And then I went in and we both jumped off this higher ledge.
You gotta go out pretty far.
Ben's crossing the waterfall.
How's it feel?
It's freezing. Be careful, dude. Hang on. He's dead!
Oh my God.
It's so cold. I did definitely hit my chest.
Hurry up, what are you doing?
I hope I don't die. Oh, fun.
And at that point, I was just like, I'm not gonna jump off this thing.
So I'm cowarding out for today.
Whatever.
I haven't had that feeling of fear in a long time, and it feels great. But I feel terrible that I didn't do it, but I think I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna come back.
That has to happen.
I'm gonna come back and do it. Cool content. So look at this Apple Watch. This is a live view for the photo.
Wow. Wow. Whoa. Does Apple integrate their products like that?
Yeah.
So with that, it was getting late, and Joe was like, we need to leave here now if we're gonna be able to make it to my aunt's and get to the island before dark. That's right, an island. Suspenseful pause. We were gonna stay on an island. We're back to the vehicles, and what's going on now?
Oh, we're gonna go to this island. We're not very prepared.
The plan was to kayak off the coast of Presque Isle, or Little Presque Isle, and camp on this little island and then do some cliff jumping the next day. Got to Joe's aunt's place. Hi, I'm good.
No, it's just
And she was kind enough to give us her 2 kayaks, and then we had Joe's kayak. 3 kayaks, 3 bags, 2 tents, 2 hammocks, because Turner isn't sure what he wants to sleep in. And Rocky
3 dudes, and we're going to camp out on an island. You ready, Rock? Yep.
We were all packed up. Well, I was packed up. I was overpacked. I brought my 60-liter like backpacking pack because I packed for not only me and Rocky, but also Turner, because they really only brought 2 hammocks, some blankets, and hot dogs.
This is the entrance to Little Presque Isle, which is Lake Superior is a little island.
We did our little Where the Wild Things Are hike, and as we were getting closer to the coast, I was noticing like, oh, the water's a bit choppy. That might not be good.
Turner, you getting worried?
I think it's gonna be fun, man.
All right, we made it to the coast. Now, we gotta get our kayaks down there and I guess kayak across. With
And then the closer and closer we came, I was like, oh, it's pretty choppy.
Hey Ben, last words?
we're gonna get wet.
Before we actually crossed to the island, we had seen some kids just walking across, holding their clothes above their head, and they made it across within like 5 minutes.
These kids are showing us up.
Yeah, get down to your underwear and walk across.
Oh, and just like use the kayak as a float?
I gotta pee.
Well, luckily, the little area where we were gonna cross to the island isn't very long, and it's pretty shallow.
The waves are pretty crazy. I decided I'm just gonna walk across it, see what happens.
Hey, what's your plan? I'm gonna try to go the long way around.
Mom, I'll be safe. I got my jacket
I'm gonna
on.
try to go the long way around. The long way around. What are you doing?
I've got a dog and the biggest bag. I'm gonna see how you do, and if you do good, I only have 1 pair of underwear. So I need to walk mine because I just have too much shit with the dog and me, which means I gotta take my clothes off, and I just sealed my bag. Joe made it.
I stripped down to my skivvies, which were my only skivvies, put the bag in the kayak, got Rocky ready, who wasn't ready.
We're going. You ready? No, he's not ready.
And we tried to cross. And I only really made it about 30 feet because the whole time I'm getting hit with waves. I look back and Rocky had made it like 15 feet, and because he had his life preserver on, he was like a bobber in waves, just getting nailed, and like couldn't make it further than 5 feet before he was tumbling back to shore. So I had to immediately turn around, and already at that point the kayak had filled probably 15% with water. It's like, screw it, we're losing daylight. I'm just gonna put him on top of my bag in the kayak, and my bag's waterproof system was just a trash bag. And so immediately he gets on there and starts ripping the bag apart, and I try to cross again. And with the added weight, it was super difficult to move the thing. And as I'm going, I make it about halfway. I don't have water shoes like Joe did. I was going barefoot, and so I'm just like slipping. I cannot get any grip. It's all mossy rock, and I can't push the thing forward. It's just filling with water the whole time. It's probably like 50% full by that point, and Joe hands the drone off to Turner and comes to save us. So Joe came to our rescue, and I was pretty bummed about the whole thing. That was a terrible decision.
What happened?
You made it fine.
Yeah.
I had too much shit. There's no way. If I had Rocky, maybe I could have made it where you were. But I couldn't fit me and that and the dog. We did it!
Oh, was it just like moss? Moss.
Yeah.
Shit.
And I'm just like beating, trying to keep him up.
Nothing's easy. Adventure. But you make it look so good.
My shit's probably wet because it's got dog claw holes all in it. Just leave it. What do you think, Rock? He was panicked I was gonna die. He's like looking at me. Oh. I'm backwards. Come on, dude. It's all part of winning today. It's all part of it.
Joe was like, we gotta hide these kayaks just in case these kids are in a stealing mood. So we threw the kayaks in the bushes. We're hiding our kayaks. And we went and tried to find a campsite. And I was only in just my boots, underwear, and my backwards fleece.
Ready to go dry off, or at least try to.
And so I was a bit flustered with all of it, and Joe wanted to scout the island out with us.
We could drop the kayak here and just do a quick explore. Good.
And Turner, at that point, was like in a full-blown panic about these kids on the island.
Turner's like getting disturbed. What is going on with these kids?
Trust kids.
I love it. Got your shirt backwards.
I know. I'm sure I look really cool. Polar Bear Club.
Give me a hand. Look at this unity.
I
Okay.
guess we're on the coast. Well, either way, we're going.
See, they're coming this way. That's what I'm saying, bro. I don't trust kids. I know what they're doing. Oh, they're coming this way. Now we're getting lost. There's kids on this island somewhere, and they don't think it's a problem. But I do. I just think it needs to be said. Hey, Joe, we're gonna go back. Joe.
It's gonna get dark, and then it's gonna get way worse. Set up.
We gotta set up. We could do this with flashlights. Ooh, that's a nice jumping spot. Look at this. This is beautiful. Perfect. We're here. We made it.
Yeah.
We made it.
We're gonna go get our shit set here.
We ended up finding this really cool campsite that was already like set up with log seats and a little fire pit, and it had enough trees for them to set their hammocks up with, and we set up our camp. You know, it did suck that all of my stuff was soaked, but I set up a little drying line.
Look at,
You're so prepared.
check it out. No socks. Look how cool I am. You can flash that's my wet clothes rack. That's my jet boil. That's how I'm gonna make my dinner.
Kathmandu curry.
Space food. For just $12, you can modify your Nalgene bottle with a DogCatManVan sticker pack. You get a Rocky, a logo, an Archer, and then all of us in a van.
Just touching wings.
I live here.
There it is. Product shot.
Brock, get away from my wiener! The pocket boy knife. Or saw. Joe and Turner's stuff, their blankets were soaked. He forgot all the lines to tie up his hammocks with, so they had to tie them together between two trees, which was pretty funny. Got two boys, one hammock. All right, say goodnight. Wave like you're sleeping. And we went to bed, and you'll never guess what happened that night. Cliffhanger moment. Stay tuned until next episode, where we do more stuff in the Uber.
3, 2, 1. Where are we going? Oh, come on, Turner!
That's that way.
Stop.
You have a YouTube channel. I watch it.
We're on a stealth mission. And make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so that you know when part 2 comes out, if you care to watch part 2. And thanks for watching this one. Cool beans. Bye-bye now.
What's that about?
I've broken my ankles a shitload. Sorry, sprained them. It's the universal caution symbol. Caution tape. I'm regular footed, skater, and then there's a broken skateboard. You know, I was 17, being cool. My mom was like, go ahead.
It's your money.
You're gonna get it anyways.